was kind of crazy. Go!
So we stayed longer in Spokane than we wanted to. We just got scared of the snow and the ice and the cold that was supposed to be in Idaho and Montana. So we came to Spokane, ended up being cold and snowy here, but probably not as bad as it was there.
Nothing on the ground.
Yeah. So we did have some frost this morning and some freezing pipes, we think. Real slow water that seemed to maybe have frozen in the pipes, but hopefully everything's intact. But we feel confident that the snow has moved east, and so we're gonna head back into Idaho. I have a package to pick up in St. Mary's, which is where we were last week, that we didn't get when we came back through. And then we'll head down further. We're gonna go look into Idaho County. We came and looked at this piece of property. Is 44 acres, something like that. And it is beautiful, but it is straight up a mountain. And it's really disappointing because we knew it was rolling hills is what they said in the description. And there were pictures, but the pictures looked like the driveway was flatter. And though the hills, we knew they were hills, they looked more rolling in the pictures. So I don't know how they accomplished that, because that looks pretty steep to me. But we're feeling really discouraged right now, and that's kind of difficult to keep going and looking at the next property. And we were talking about how maybe we're greedy and we wanted too much land, looking 20 to 40 acres. Maybe that just doesn't exist. So maybe we need to look for smaller parcels, be willing to spend more. I don't know. I'm just feeling frustrated, sad. A little bit like it's getting cold enough that our journey might be almost over. Not the journey, but this part of looking right now might be over, and we may have to resume it in the spring. Take a break and just travel over the winter, but I don't know. Just feeling kind of bummed.
Turned out to be very, very frustrating. We're in Idaho County, Idaho. The appeal of this county is that they don't have any building restrictions or zoning and planning, so the idea is we can do whatever we want with the land in this area as long as we follow the proper ordinances for septic. It's the biggest county in Idaho. And we started this morning, a few days ago, I guess. We started a few days ago with a online search that revealed 42 properties that met our criteria. So that was great. 42. So went through the list, and it turns out a lot of them are in new subdivisions, which is great. They're beautiful places, but they're not going to allow you to do really what you want to do, because subdivisions are going to have HOAs and restrictions that keep you building in a way that's sort of consistent and maintain their value. And That's fine. I have no problem with HOAs and subdivisions, but it's not what we're looking for. So that shrunk the list down significantly. A lot of the property was just incredibly flat, just farmland and hay fields and things like that, and that's not really what we're looking for either, because we want some woods to cut for material and for firewood. And so we ended up with a list of 6 properties that we wanted to see today and tomorrow. When driving to the first 2 properties, we got a little ways up a road and just said it's going to be another hour before we get there, and the road was terrible. So we turned around, struck 2 off the list, drove a little bit different direction, about an hour away, and got on one piece of land today and walked it, and it was really, really steep. The pictures did not make it look that steep. A couple other pieces of property nearby there looked okay online. We get there, and there's really not a road that's developed onto the land. There's a line, on the map, but once you actually start driving it, you realize that, we're the first person to be on this road in a long time. And ended up with what I would consider probably the most frustrating day on the search so far. We only got on one property out of all the 42 that we started with, and that property just turned out to be no good. We ended the day kind of down, and got to the point where some of these roads were so scary, we're just losing patience with each other. We're fighting about stupid things, and got back to the camper, and Deanna made some awesome pizza. But we're kind of closing out this day with no wins. I'm getting to the point where I just am not having a lot of hope that we're going to find what we're looking for. Maybe we need to reduce our parcel size down a little bit, but we're stuck around the 20-acre mark just because if we're going to build multiple houses for multiple generations, we need more than just a 10-acre parcel. And if we have enough land that we want to cut some timber and have land for pasture, it has to be a pretty decent size. So stay tuned. Tomorrow's a new day, but starting to lose heart. Do you like my hat?
I do. I like it. I like that party hat. Any fans of Go Dog Go out there? The theme of today is We Give Up. Oh, is that not really a positive spin on what we're doing?
We do not give up.
We do not give up. Well, we kind of a little bit give up. The snow and the cold has chased us out of Idaho. I mean, we're not going to get out of Idaho today, but it's chasing us south. And what that means is we're probably not going to be looking for more land right now. It's too cold, too snowy, and the land we're looking at isn't fitting the bill. We're very discouraged by not being able to find or get to half the properties we've been trying to see. And I guess I feel like we're doing something wrong, We're getting close to Sukkot next week, and we decided to do something fun, to go to some national parks. We're going to go to Zion National Park, and I think also the Grand Canyon. Just have to follow the weather, and we knew that going in. We knew we were going to follow the weather. It just
we did
came.
It we just didn't know how soon.
Yeah, it just came earlier than we thought, I think.
We can't really pull this trailer in this kind of weather. So, I don't know. There hasn't been anything that really suited us. It's really frustrating.
We've come through some really beautiful country, and I often kind of well up and I feel like I really want to live here. And there are some really beautiful places, of course, you can see from the road. Well, I don't want to live by the road either, so I know when you go further back and further up, the land gets harder. I keep thinking there has to be something somewhere. There has to be something we're missing. There has to be something that we're missing. I don't know.
Yeah, the only candidate property we found is in a county in Idaho called Bode County. I think it made it into a video a little while back, and we liked it. It's more money than we wanted to spend, and we learned a lot about the building codes in that county, and there's going to be more oversight than we wanted. It may not be a big deal. We just don't know. And they do allow you to build more than one residence per parcel, which is not what we found in many counties.
Yeah.
And they do require building permits, though it seemed like it might be kind of lax. We want to build safe houses, but we don't necessarily want someone else coming in when we're done and determining if it's safe enough for us to live in or not.
It's more than we want, and we shouldn't have to have that.
If we end up there, it represents a compromise to our dream, but it's the only real candidate property as well. Who knows? We're kicking around that property a lot in our heads because we've been there 3 times now.
3 times we've gone up there.
3 times. We spent a lot of time on the land, and sit there, stand there, and say, what if a house was here? What would the view look like? Where would the water be? Where would the septic be? It's the only property we've really stayed long enough to daydream about.
Yeah. Other than the Apple property in Wisconsin.
So who knows? That could be it. That could be just one more that didn't work. It's going to be exciting. The next week or so, it's going to be cool. We celebrate the Feast of Sukkot, the Feast of Tabernacles, as it's called in some circles. And so we have a few high Sabbath days there where we'll just not do any work and just lay low, eat good food.
It's always the best part of the feast days is eating good food, right?
We always have some
I just can't prepare as much in the camper as usual.
You do fine. You always do fine.
It's going to hinder me.
The Sukkot's coming, and that's going to be that's always our time of year where we stop and we relax, and we usually go camping, which is awesome. We love camping. So we'll just be doing more of the same. One of the ideas of the Sukkot is that you remember the period of time that the Israelites were in the wilderness by living in temporary dwellings. So I think what we'll do is we'll all move into the small van and let them move into the big van, and we'll all be taking turns in a temporary dwelling. What do you think of that?
Oh, that'd be funny. I don't think we could all fit in that van.
We'd have to stack.
We'd have to stack for sure. I don't know if that'd work. We're already experiencing that wandering feeling, so it'll be a little more close to home this year, I think, remembering the Israelites' plight and when they're finding their home, and their home that Yehovah has for them, and we're looking for the home that Yehovah has for us. And it's hard to be in that wilderness place. It's hard to be in a wandering place where you don't know when you're going to make it to your home or where it's going to be. They didn't know. They just trusted, and so we just have to trust as well.
Bad. Interesting. Pulled over yesterday with the little van, and I could smell antifreeze. There's a leak. You can't really see it in here, but you can see it in here. It was just pouring out from underneath here and dripping all the way down out here. So, pretty sure it's a heater core leak. We tightened up some hoses last night and tried it again this morning, and after it got warm, it just went everywhere. Just gonna see how far down the road we can get. Not sure about repairing it, or to fix the heater core means tearing out the entire dashboard and the speedometer and all the instruments. So that's something we can do, but I don't know where. It's a mess. It's a real mess.
Hey, what are you doing today?
Well, right now I am riding in your van because my van smells like green poison.
Oh, do you have any songs about green poison?
I do not have any songs about green poison.
Do you?
Green poison.
Green poison.
are here at Shoshone Falls in Twin Falls, Idaho, while the boys do some repair on the van. We decided to have some fun. This view is super cool, and you would not know by driving around out there like that this even exists. It's like all flat on top, looks like totally flat, and then there's a sign that says falls, and you drive down into the canyon, and this is here. It's crazy. Super cool.
It has been a very productive morning. We got out the old heater core. It's kind of like in there. This is the old heater core. It's going okay. About 2 hours maybe so far. This is what Josiah looks like bent in half. And now we go from wondering what we're supposed to do to try to remember what we did do to take it all apart. It's gonna work. No problem.
Which bag is which? I've got one more bag.
Wait, there's one more bag.
That's the dash bag. What are these two?
Why didn't you label them?
We didn't have time for that.
I don't know.
We used the bag for the heater core thing.
Did we count? I mean, we've already put back 30 screws. And we threw away an entire baggie because...
Of screws?
No.
Yeah, we didn't. We thought we're gonna have extra. We don't need more.
We're gonna have extra anyways.
Oh my gosh.
There is one nut we electively did not put back on because we
couldn't get to it.
We couldn't.
Now the whole thing's gonna fall out.
Yeah, maybe.
There's 900 other screws holding it in.
That's the one that was actually holding it in, though.
We couldn't even see it when we were done. The only way we took it out is we cut hoses in half. Well, that doesn't work when you put hoses back because they can't be cut in half. So, I don't know. Let's look at them.
Ready?
Go. So once again, we stayed at Cabela's last night. It's so nice when you're coming up to a big enough town that has a Cabela's. If you don't have a plan for where you're going to stay, you just think, I'm just going to pull in there. We've done it maybe four times now. I'm not sure exactly. But a couple things that I observed. One is you feel a little less homeless every time you do it because it's just the first time you're kind of feeling like you need to kind of keep a low profile and not make it look like you're like living in a parking lot. And then next couple times you just kind of get your bikes out and do your own thing, and it feels pretty much normal. And it's free, and they usually have a dump station, so it's so convenient to stay in a Cabela's parking lot. It's just if you don't have a plan, man, it works out really, really well. The other thing I noticed is, it really makes sense to be able to make your own fun. And by that I mean, there's literally nothing to do here. It's a parking lot. But if you look what the kids are doing, they're having a blast. What are you doing, bud? There's a little bitty curb poured into concrete, or into the grass here. And they're just trying to ride on it as an exercise, I don't know, in agility or something. But it's so cool, and I think the neat thing about living this lifestyle and living specifically with these kids is, man, they can figure out something fun to do no matter where we are. And it takes a little creativity, and we always, hear that I'm bored, but in reality, there's so much to do if you're creative.
Today we're in Salt Lake City, and we're going to the planetarium. They have a free exhibit that you can walk through, and then it's only $7 per person to watch one of the shows. So we're gonna see what looks good today. Then we'll stay at Harvest Host tonight. Here we are. That's a lot.
I love going to the planetarium. When I was a little boy, there was a planetarium in my town, and we would go there all the time for school trips and camp trips and stuff. This is much cooler. last night we boondocked at Rowley's Red Barn in Santa Quinn, Utah. It's near Salt Lake. And it's a really cool little place that's like a vegetable and fruit stand. They sell ice cream, all kinds of gifts and stuff like that. Tons of apples, like wall-to-wall apples this time of year. And you don't have to coordinate with them at all. You just kind of come and park in their side lot. They've got a ton of space here, and the view is fantastic. There's the barn. There's the mountains this morning before the sun is up. It was 19 degrees overnight, and yeah, pretty cold. We were comfortable in the camper, but we'll be happy to get further south and hopefully into some warmer temperatures. Stick around.